Hey there, happy campers. Jason back again with another video, and this week we are beginning our 4-part series taking a look at the developmental stages and tendencies of the campers themselves. So for each part in this series, we're going to be taking a look at the physical, cognitive, and social characteristics that make each of these age groups unique, and then we're going to be taking all 3 of those and tying them together and talking about what that actually looks like and translates to at camp and how best to work with those groups. And we're starting things off with the itty-bitties, the youngest members of our camp communities usually, the 4 to 6-year-olds. So the first thing that you'll notice about 4 to 6-year-olds from a physical standpoint is that they are extremely active. They have motors that can just go. They are at constant and full speed as much as they can possibly help it. They really have 2 speeds, go and stop. And speaking of which, you will see that that is a tendency in them as well. They are either going at full speed or they are stopping, and they frequently will go back and forth between those 2 things. Go, stop, go, stop, go, stop. Now, in terms of what that going actually looks like, it tends to be a lot of very big muscle movements, a lot of kicking, a lot of moving the arms, a lot of getting the entire body involved as much as possible. There's not very much fine motor movement, not a lot of finger manipulation, not a lot of little tiny delicate movements. It's a lot of big movements. And then one really interesting thing to know about these guys physically is that they tend to really be working on their left to right tracking when it comes to faraway objects. Up and down they're fine, but if things go across their field of vision from left to right, before it finishes crossing their field of vision, they tend to get bored with it and give up on it and really struggle to track and follow things. So if you're going to work with them, you want to keep things right in front of them, right where they can see them. Now, moving over to the cognitive side of things, 4 to 6-year-olds tend to have extremely active imaginations, and they are very, very vivid ones. They love to pretend play, they love to act things out, they love to make believe. They're also really, really big into routine, and you will find that they crave the structure and predictability that comes with a regular set routine and schedule. They do very well if they can know exactly what to expect and that they know what's going to happen. Similar to this, they're also really, really big on copying and repeating. I'll say it again, they're really big on copying and repeating. They're really big on what? That's right, copying and repeating. And so to go with that modeling, the act of actually showing them what you want them to do and showing them the expected behaviors and actions goes a really, really long way with this age group. Show them what it is you want them to do. Tell them what it is you want them to do. Have them tell it back to you again. Have them show you. Who can show me what it looks like to be a good listener? They will be putty in your hands. Now, in terms of social development, a lot of these kids are actually just kind of starting to figure the whole social thing out. Prior to this, before the age of 4, a lot of kids are kind of in their own little world. I mean, they know that other people are there, but the ability to take other people's perspective and, realize that other people have needs and wants that might be different than theirs, a lot of kids aren't there yet, even when they reach 4 or 5 years old, and they spend a lot of the beginning time at school and in camp really developing these kinds of emotions and feelings and honestly just empathy. But similar to how earlier I said that these kids are going to crave structure and routine, well, these kids, when it comes to social orders, are really, really big on the rules. What is the rule? And then because of this obsession with the rules and what you're supposed to do, if someone's not doing it correctly, a child can become very bossy and overcritical of their peers. But you can absolutely use this desire for rules and structure to your advantage. This is an age where giving a kid a job or having a special helper goes a really, really long way, and they love it. They want to feel special, and they want to know that the job is theirs and that they're doing a good job because that's what the adult wanted them to do. So then overall, what does successfully working with this age group look like at camp? Well, because they have so much energy and they're go, stop, you're going to want to plan a lot of varied activities with differing levels of physical exertion, and you're going to want to follow your high energy activities with some more low-key ones. Don't be afraid to take frequent breaks, not only because they're going to have to go to the bathroom more often because they're little kids with little bladders, but also because they're going to tire out more easily, and honestly, they might just get bored more quickly with your activities. Their attention spans are not very long. But probably most importantly, embrace that desire for pretend play and imagination, and feel free to use that in your group. Be silly, be imaginative. Instead of going on a hike, you're going to explore a castle and rescue the princess from the dragon, that kind of type of stuff. Make things grand and big and adventurous and fantastical, kind of how camp already is in their minds, and they'll do great. So that's going to do it for our little kids, our itty bitties, our 4 to 6 year olds, the tiny campers. All right, my friends, if you're watching this at orientation, there's a good chance that your director has the next one queued up. So I'm going to see you right on the other side of this transition. And if you're still here, that means that you're watching this on YouTube all by itself. You know the outro by now. All right, campers, lights out.